But yeah, I guess we can start in like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. And I hope timer is started and my run is. So let's pretend that nothing happened. And that's my first run on the marathon. I mean, it is actually my first run on the marathon. Anyway, we start as a pyromancer with black firebombs. And we start as a pyromancer because of the armor that will allow us to perform air rolls later in the run, or meme rolls. I guess I'll call it meme rolls, even though it's not a meme rolls in PTDE. I call it meme rolls all the time, so let's call it meme rolls. And the other reason why we using Pyromancer as a starting class is Fireball and Pyromancy Glove. That's an essential resources to be able to homeward wrong warp later on in the run, and that stuff will save us quite some time and make routing much more interesting. So first boss is Asylum Demon. Here black firebombs come into play. We took them as a gift, and we're gonna utilize them quite a lot throughout the run. Like, we're gonna use every single one of them. So that's pretty poggers. I actually forgot to do a running attack here, since we don't need to pick up any of the items in the Asylum except Pyromancy Glove. You have to push away this hollow with a running attack, but I was thinking too much about what I'm doing and did nothing instead. Okay, there we bait out the boulder. Actually, quitting out is faster IGT, but because of the boulder, it makes it like pretty much not worth it in this route. Like, you can quit out right next to the wall and use no boulder to break it. But because we like it, you will need to spend some health in order to do that. So there we use some interesting strat to bait out the hollows a little faster by rolling early. We take the Pyromancy Glove and we open the door. I'm not gonna quit out on the door. Usually on this door you quit out and you skip the door open animation, because door opens like takes some time. There is gonna be another small neat trick. You open up the key settings menu, and for some reason key settings menu is like cannot be closed with start, and it's overwriting everything, and that closes the arriving at the Lord Run message. And that message prevents you from sprinting like immediately when you get into Firelink. We go into Undeadburg, and the first place where we're gonna go is Undead Merchant, and this is where we're gonna utilize our first glitch, actual glitch, which is called Prompt Swap. For Prompt Swap, you need to perform like all the runners bind left mouse button click on controller in order to like just do it more comfortably. But you need to simultaneously like press 2 buttons in order to buy an item you have not enough souls for. So we buy 5. Nice, I'm very good at menuing. We buy 5 arrows, rapier, reinforced club, short bow, and there we seemingly buy orange soapstone, but in fact with the prompt swap we buy the key from the merchant, and that key allows us to open the door on the way to Taurus Demon to obtain gold pine resins. And the rest of the Undeadburg is a little scary, like enemies can do very annoying RNG. But not this time actually. So there we open the door, pick up gold pine resin, equip the reinforced club. Here I framed the barrel. And there we will kill the crystal lizard inside the barrel. That's another place where black firebomb comes into play, because it just one-shots it. And we get in our second boss fights of this run. Gold pine resin is a very strong weapon buff at this stage of the game, so it will make this fight like incredibly easier. So here we get this attack, and that's another place where we're going to utilize... oh no. That's another place where we're going to utilize our Black Fire Bomb. So there I used my Black Fire Bomb while I was regening my stamina to stagger Taurus, which is very convenient. This boss fight with Reinforced Club can be a little tricky because Reinforced Club has multiple, well, not multiple hitbox. It has like a sweet spot of the hitbox. And hopefully the Drake goes smoothly. We bait out Drake, use the Gold Pine Resin again, and we can cut the tail just in 2 swings, and we get the Drake Sword. Okay, now the last use for Gold Pine Resin is gonna be the Black Knight. So we're going to use the Black Knight Greatsword in this run. This is a weapon that drops with 26.7% chance with 1 humanity used, like I do have. And if it doesn't drop, software called Gadget Image will automatically add it to my inventory. So don't be afraid of that. We're doing this for a marathon after all. Well, yeah, you can get quite unlucky with Hollow randomly hitting you. As you can see, I got only the chunk, but Gadget Image added Black Knight Greatsword in my inventory anyway. So yeah, killing Black Knight can be a little annoying with this weapon, but it's only Hollow RNG that makes it annoying, because sometimes Hollow likes to arrive super early and hit you while you try to finish Black Knight. And the next destination is a Sense Gate skip. And Sense Gate skip is a death cam skip. You already, if you have been watching the marathon from the start, you already have been watching like Dark Souls 3 run that also utilizes the death cam skips, like Farron Keep skip. This skip uses similar mechanic, which is you get a death cam activated on your character without hitting the actual kill box. And what it gives you is that game thinks that you are dead. And because game thinks that you are dead, it stops loading further areas around you. And by doing that, game just doesn't load the Sense Gate when you try to approach Sense Fortress. So there I'm taking the Bonfire as well in the Death Perish. I level up, like I just spent pretty much all my souls in Dexterity, like I'll need 18 Dexterity in order to use Black Knight Greatsword. But what this glitch does, game stops loading objects to a degree, and it allows you to go through Sense Fortress gates just because there is none of them. Like they're just not loaded because the place where you get the death cam to be activated is too far away from there. So here we are in Sense Fortress. We don't need to ring both bells after Quelag and after Gargoyles, and in this run we will skip both of them entirely. We will kill like Gargoyles after Ornstein, Smo and Quelag very late in a run, and we entirely will skip, again, as I said, like ringing bells. And Sense Fortress is a very consistent area to go through. Like in Sense Fortress, all the pendulum cycles are consistent all the time. All the boulder cycles are consistent all the time. And all the enemies are very easy to go through. Here I did a glitch called Move Swap, by the way, on the way. That's the first appearance of this glitch, and Move Swap is a glitch that we will utilize throughout the whole run. Like, Move Swap is our pretty much main combat glitch in the run. It allows you to transfer running attack and rolling attack animations, most importantly running attack animation, from one weapon to another. And in order to do that, you need to do a certain sequence of actions, which involves using bow and replacing bow with the weapon you're going to use in the left hand. And if you do it correctly, it allows you to ultimately equip, like two-hand the weapon in your left hand slot, which is normally not possible with the regular weapons in Dark Souls 1, unlike in Dark Souls 2, for example. And for some reason, game starts to pick up running, rolling, and plunge attacks for that weapon from your right-hand weapon. So that's pretty weird. but it's incredibly efficient. And the reason why it's so efficient is because running attack of a rapier that we are using is a double thrust attack. Like there you can see that my rolling attack is different from regular Drake Sword attack, and here is the first boss that's gonna be destroyed by move swap. That's an Iron Golem. And you will see how my running attack looks like, and that's absolutely not normal. So Iron Golem is quite a tricky boss fight. It's like a little RNG dependent. Yeah, I actually have got a bad RNG, but I've got the salvageable bad RNG. Maybe I messed up my position a little bit, but that's fine. Ooh, I'm gonna be dead. Cool. Yeah, I had no stamina. That's unfortunate. Like, because I'm not used to fighting like that, I just roll out of habit. So there I died because I had no stamina to toggle after I rolled. Which is unfortunate, because we'll have to run through the whole Sense Fortress from scratch. That's not a big deal. So anyway, like Iron Golem is a boss that can be staggered with dealing 400 damage below a knee, right? And after you deal 400 damage below a knee, he gets in this like barely standing still animation. And in that part of the arena at the beginning, you can make him fall off from the bridge. And doing that is not very difficult. So we abuse it in a speedrun. In order to do that, as I said, like you need to deal 400 damage below the knee, and then you need to deal 200 more damage to make him actually fall after getting staggered. And as soon as he falls off, like he's instantly dead. But I died instantly as well, Lamo. So yeah, we
Is it okay if I read some donations?
Oh yeah, of course. We do have some time. We have a lot of time.
Yeah. All right, we got two right now. So the first one is from Bun Dumpling, $22.22. Such a treat to see Dan running Swampfimele. I actually don't know how to say it.
Swampfimele.
Swampfimele. Okay. For the children, he's one of the those cheery, polite type streamers, always ready with a cup of tea and bowl of buckwheat to help struggling speedrunners. Thanks, Dan and Speetos and the children.
Thank you, Bun.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you, Bun. Appreciate it. And then we got one from Infinity X2K4. $50. Good amount.
Boggers.
For the children, shout out to everyone who's helped out putting this event. Good luck, everyone. Great looking schedule, y'all. Thank you.
Thank you. But yeah, like going through Sense Fortress isn't much fun. That's one of the probably worst places to die in. As it's like when it comes to like a marathon run, because it takes so long to like come back all the way through the Sense Fortress. But yeah, it was a very stupid mistake to make, but you know, only people that don't do anything don't do stupid mistakes. So next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna achieve killing Ornstein Smo, hopefully first try, to at least compensate a little on this amazing time loss. Like, Ornstein Smo fight is probably one of the most RNG heavy fights in a run, because we are going to use Black Knight Greatsword plus 0. We don't yet have resources to upgrade it, which we will do have a bit later on. And we're also gonna have a mid-roll, which is not that big of a deal, but still. And we also don't have a Red Tier Stone Ring just yet. Like, we're gonna obtain Red Tier Stone Ring in a quite unique way with a glitch called Equip Slot Manipulation. That will actually allow us to get it without getting an actual ring. Some Dark Souls Miyazaki magic. Okay, let's take the souls because we will need them a bit later on. So Anor Londo is a little scary area to go through, as well in the marathon, so hopefully I don't die again. And like rafters can be a little RNG heavy and annoying to deal with, and also on top of that like this route doesn't have Silver Knight Archer skip that used to be a part of all bosses route before the newest changes got applied to routing. And with Silver Knight Archer skip, you were, as you can guess from the name of the skip, you were skipping the Silver Knight Archer's area, which is very nice because of Batwing demons that can be annoying during that area as well. But in this run we don't have it, so we will have to go through Anor Londo in a casual manner. So there we get on the rafters, and hopefully we won't get memed too much. We already didn't get killed on a ladder, which is very nice. Good luck down there. So these guys usually throw their knives at you, but sometimes they like to block the path in front, and that's where Rapier becomes very handy, very handful, because Rapier running attack, since it does perform a double hit, it has a decent pushing values, so that's nice. And in the case like was there, I didn't have to push away the Painting Guardian, I just had to not let him attack me by staggering him with just regular poke. So that's also nice. There we use the elevator, the staircase elevator, and we will gonna take this bonfire early because we will go through Painted World Ariamis and we will kill Gwendolyn early in this run. Since this run will use absolutely no magic, there is no reason to postpone any fights. Unlike in previous routes where we were using Dark Beat in the late game, we were using Hidden Body in the late game, which made certain boss fights easier to do later on and just faster, for example Gaping Dragon. But in this run we will do it a little earlier, just because it's faster that way. So here we're gonna utilize a little trick that doesn't save too much time RTA, mostly IGT. We have to quit out before staircase stops moving, and by doing that we will prevent it from changing its position. As you can see, it's not there. That is needed to get to Painted World Ariamis faster without reusing elevator, which is very nice. I also got lucky that Gargoyle didn't get stuck on the elevator staircase, because sometimes Gargoyle can... like, Gargoyle is an enemy that doesn't get affected by bonfire. Like, the Gargoyle position doesn't reset when you sit at the bonfire, so it can be a little annoying to go around that Gargoyle on the staircase. And we go through the Batwing Demon area. We are not getting hit by any lightning spears, which is nice. And there is another place where Drake Sword will be very useful, because it allows you to not deal with Bad Silver Knight RNG, but he decided to be nice and just walked off the cliff for us. Okay, that's the end for Drake Sword in this run, since I leveled up on the Tomb of the Giants. Sorry, not Tomb of the Giants, Darkmoon Tomb bonfire. But I still will take this bonfire for marathon reasons, because going all the way back from Darkmoon Tomb is taking too much time. So there is a little parkour skip on the stairs that many casual players probably even have been doing in order to get to Ornstein's more earlier. And this is probably the first fight where an actual strength of move swap have been showed up. Let's hope that RNG is gonna be good. Since, as I said, this is like probably one of the most RNG based fights in the whole run. That was very clean. I wasn't sure will I get hit by a shockwave from Smoke here, but played pretty well there. So that was Ornstein, and Smo now is pretty simple, unless he does this. Just in case I'm gonna be rolling. We're not gonna make it to an elevator, unfortunately, but I took safety over speed in this fight. So with move swap Black Knight Greatsword, you can stagger Smo infinitely. There I'm duping the Korvan Iron Golem. I actually haven't explained the dupe yet. I've duped one soul beforehand already. But yeah, this fight that was a very smooth fight, outside of the end where I decided to play safe on Smo, but outside of that it was very smooth. So there we're gonna kill Guinevere to get the Lord Vessel, because it's faster than talking with her. And also it allows you to fight Gwendolyn immediately. But before we're just gonna bone out, you have to do a fancy dupe. Me and Regal Strat, famously known. And now we level up 22 endurance to be able to fast roll with the move swapped Black Knight Greatsword. And now we warp to Undead Perish, and now we're gonna do quite some menuing on Andre. We're gonna buy Crest of Artorias, we're gonna buy smithing weapon smith box, we're gonna buy a shield, and we're gonna buy 999 arrows. We're gonna use glitch called, actually, give me a second, stored the wrong prompt. I'm gonna perform a glitch called quantity storage on the pike, and that glitch just gave me 999 pikes in my inventory, and now I'm crammed. This is a setup for a glitch called equip slot manipulation that I'm going to use a little bit later on. But what it also does, it stores the 999 quantity minus 998 quantity, I mean, which is a brightness dupe. And now, after I dropped minus 998 Twinkling Titanates, I have 99 of them in my inventory. Some magic right there. Why this works is because the way game works with quantity prompts for weapons is a little weird. Like, it always subtracts from 1, and when you use quantity storage to purchase more than one weapon, game subtracts that number from 1 and gets a negative quantity. Dang, failed a ladder move swap. Rip all my swag points. Have to bring brightness back. Okay, Gargoyles fights. Gargoyles is a relatively easy fight with Black Knight Greatsword move swapped, as you can see. We deal a lot of damage, and it's still Black Knight Greatsword not upgraded. So brightness dupe allows us to get any upgrading material pretty much immediately. There we level up Black Knight Greatsword to +5. And now we head off to Stray Demon. The reason why we kill Stray Demon as early is because we need the doll. It's a key to get to the World of Ariamis, and Painted World of Ariamis is the place where we have to get fast, because this is where we're gonna get the item that will allow us to get Red Tier Stone Ring using Equip Slot Manipulation glitch. There we talk with Petros on our way to Stray as well. That's where we buy a spell called Homeward and Talisman. The reason why we buy Homeward is to perform Homeward Wrongboard later on in the run. Actually, quite soon, for the first time. So that sequence of glitches that I performed on Andre menu and after Andre menu ultimately is just a setup, or as I said, like a whip slot manipulation glitch, and for the brightness dupe. And as I mentioned, like, brightness dupe is kind of hard to explain because like it requires you to get the double menu. Like, you have to open two instances of the menu and carry the minus 998 prompt that you stored on Andre into the Twinkling Titanate drop prompt, which is, again, can be done by using the 2 instances of the menu. This game has quite crazy menus. So there we wait for Hollows to come at us, to be safe, to go to Stray Demon itself. And this is now the actual strength of MoveSwap BKGS shown, because this boss has incredible amount of health. And we kill it just in 4 running attacks. We've got like the worst possible RNG pretty much with the butt slams, but outside of that, that was pretty good. Okay, that was Stray Demon. Some DT plus 5 runners crying in chat probably right now because seeing this superior Black Knight Greatsword fight. Okay, so next thing is gonna be very, very fresh and very new. I'm going to use the AI manip, an IFK manip for Gwendolyn. Gwendolyn used to be the most RNG heavy boss in the whole run. And now we have a manip that allows you to turn off the AI of the boss for long enough to have, like, for fight to become 0 RNG dependent. So hopefully it works first try. You have to do a certain sequence of actions for that to work. So hopefully I do it first try. Poggers, and I've got it. So that's the most recent finding in Dark Souls pretty much right now. That's a thing that allows you to, as I just shown, like, make boss IFK. And as I mentioned before, Gwendolyn is a 100% RNG dependent boss, or used to be. But now with this glitch, we can, by performing actions actively non-stop, make AI IFK. I'm not 100% sure how it works, unfortunately. Like, I'm not very familiar with why it works like that, but it has something to do with AI, like noticing you fast enough or something while you perform toggles and stuff like that. But yeah, basically you have to perform a very specific sequence of toggling, and that will allow you to make boss IFK for long enough to get the kill without any RNG involved, which is very big. And now we go through Painted World of Ariamis. And as I mentioned, this is a very important routing, that we go there as fast as possible. Well, as reasonably as fast as possible. And reason for that is Red Soapstone. And Red Soapstone is an item we're going to use as our Red Tear Stone ring using glitch equip slot manipulation. Because that item shares the same item ID as Red Tear Stone ring. And with equip slot manipulation, you can equip any item in any menu slot. And game checks the item ID in a menu slot, in a particular menu slot, separately. So if you equip Red Tear Stone ring in your ring slots, game will read it as Red Tear Stone ring. In order for that glitch to work, you need at least one ring equipped, which I do. I picked up the ring before the Gwendolyn Fog Gate. And you need to be overloaded, aka crammed. And in order to do that, I just bought like 999 pikes, or rather one pike with the 999 quantity. So game thinks that that pike is weighing a lot, and that's a leftover mechanic from Demon Souls, where you had the maximum equipment load of your character. But that parameter is impossible to overload casually, pretty much. Only using a glitch such as quantity storage, it's possible to do it fast enough. Okay, I'm failing move swaps in Priscilla fights. That's pretty usual, in fact.
Why dost thee hurry toward thine death?
You shoot a bow arrow in Priscilla to see her when she's invisible, like where she spawns, because her teleportation is absolutely RNG, like where she teleports, it can't be manipulated probably. And there we warp to Undead Parish, and it's gonna be time for Darkroot, or is it called Darkroot actually? Darkroot Garden? For the woods, okay? There I take the Undead Parish Bonfire, that's actually very important, and there I'm gonna perform a Equip Salt Manipulation. Like as you can see, red soapstone. It says red sign soapstone, but in fact it shows like RTSR icon. And when I equip it, boom, I have red tier stone ring in my ring slot, even though it's red sign soapstone equipped in it. And I guess we have some time for some information or donations.
All right, thank you. We actually do not have any donations right now, but there is something I can inform you about. A little bit ago, we opened a donation bidding incentive for No Buff Ludwig during Bloodborne. When was that? It's for... Is it the BO4 race?
No clue.
I'm checking right now because it's only labeled as that. Yep, I mean that's only Bloodborne, yeah. So the BO4 race between Peanut, Ivan, Forest, and Planet, there's gonna be an incentive for that. It is a little hefty one, so you guys, if you want to start donating for that, it is a bidding for a total of 1,500, and we're getting there. But yeah, if you guys want to donate for that, feel free to do so. Thank you.
Okay, so there I performed a glitch called Homeworld Wrong Warp, which looked very confusing probably for some of you. Okay, and I kind of got bad RNG. Hopefully I don't get backstabbed out of Foggate. Yeah, I didn't. And that's a glitch. That's one of the 3 spots where we are going to use this glitch. And that's, like, it's quite complicated. This wrong warp, like, in order for this home warp to warp, you need to have your... Like, you wrong warp in the area where your previous bonfire is located. Nice freeze. In order to do that, I took Undead Parish Bonfire, and while spell swapping my fireball with Homeward, I took... Nice game freeze. I took the Darkroot Garden Bonfire, and that causes a wrong warp. And also, on top of just causing a wrong warp, which is amazing by its own, really, because it allows you to skip like a lot of running, it also takes the bonfire you wrong warp from as your last like stored bonfire. So now when I will bone out, I will bone out Darkroot Bonfire, which saves a little bit of time as well. There I performed the out of bounds glitch. Like I used like depth transition clip. Transition clip is a glitch that like if you quit out in a certain stored position in between 2 areas, game loads them not correctly and allows you to go out of bounds weirdly. And then I got to the right place where I can perform a parkour skip called Gaping Foggate Skip. When I fall into the gaping arena from outside, not entering the Foggate itself. That glitch is actually, rather that skip is a little tricky, like it's easy to fail, but it's not very difficult after all. And then we just kill Gaping with the move sword Black Knight Greatsword with RTSR that we set up from full damage that we receive on the way. And this fight can be like incredibly awful, because with melee routes, if you don't get the slam opener fight turns into clown fiesta very fast. So luckily that didn't happen this run. Oh no. The infamous... Okay, don't grab me. God bless your soul, little demonic foliage. Okay, I messed up there because I fell on the railing of the bridge, but I got the demonic foliage to help me to save some time. There we drop some unnecessary stuff on the ground. Hydra is a 100% consistent fight. It has a little bit of RNG to it, to the last cycle, but with BKGS plus 5, this fight is very simple. You just need 2 plunge attacks, and you need, not plunge attacks, 2 jump attacks, and 1 black firebomb. That's another place where black firebombs come into play. In fact, and there you need to... Like, Hydra isn't considered a boss, but the reason we kill Hydra is to get an access to DLC eventually. So we'll have to kill this Crystal Golem, save Dusk, and now we're going to have a... Now, in the Crystal Golem, in Duke's Archives, the key into DLC will spawn. But for now, we're gonna kill Sif just because we have a convenient bonfire to do that. And there we're going to use the consistent night services. It's called consistent because it's quite inconsistent, or used to be. Now we know the AI manipulation that if you are blocking while aggroing the enemy, it has a higher chance of two-handing a weapon and performing the good attack that will give us the right outcome. So that's nice. There I'm doing a meme skip called Ruin Skip to take the stone armor a little faster. Instead of going around, I'm getting on a railing and dropping down from there. Took a little bit of extra full damage to make the RTSR setup kind of easier. And Sif is not very good in this run, I'm not gonna lie, even though the weapon you use is very powerful. The main issue of this fight in this route is, like, we need a Hornet Ring. We're gonna use Hornet Ring to kill Gwyn. Like, it saves 1 cycle on killing Gwyn, but we're gonna pick it up while Sif is running at us. That's why I'm quitting out. Like, if you quit out before Sif boss fight, it will actually make him turn around at the start, and that will give you enough time to pick up a ring 100% safely. I've got the worst RNG. This is a very concerning fight, like... Okay, good enough. Like, as you could see, this fight can get out of hand a little bit when Sif doesn't perform the attacks you expect him to at the start. And that's why I don't like the Hornet Ring pickup, because it makes certain outcomes very not comfortable. There, I used Dark Crown Ring to set my health to only a half. We're gonna use DCR, like Dusk Crown Ring. Not Dusk Crown, Dusk... How it's called actually? DCR. I don't know actually how it's called now when I think about it. Doesn't matter. We're gonna use DCR to half our HP a lot, or to set our max HP to half to lower the fall damage we receive later in the run. And there it's time for another Finding of Androth, which is move swap Moonlight Butterfly. That's another reason why magic is like absolutely pointless in this route. Hopefully I get it first try. I don't. Hopefully I don't die afterwards. I don't. Okay, so this is a very precise couple frames kill. And as you can see, I'm using Pike instead of Rapier for the move swap. And the reason for that is the animation that Pike does give you. Like, the Pike animation is much worse than Rapier. To use it, like, to fight most bosses and enemies. Oh no, of course in the marathon it breaks like that. So the advantage of pike over rapier for this skill, the window in which you have to deal double attack damage is so short that only pike running attack allows you to do that, because pike running attack performs a double hit incredibly fast. Yeah, like that. Nice. And that's a Moonlight Butterfly. I have to quit out every time to repeat the setup, because otherwise it's not really possible to be done safely, as you can imagine. There I level up 38 strength, sorry, endurance, not strength, and we work 10 Rolondo. Next we're going to do Duke's Archives. The reason why we do Duke's Archives now is because we need to obtain the DLC key. Alright, so it's just a like the bonfire that we have currently, the Darkroot bonfire, is in a very convenient spot to go to DLC. So it makes sense while we still have it there. Like, you can't warp to that bonfire, you can only warp away from it. So it's very inconvenient to come back for the DLC entrance from any other points of the map. So now we're gonna do, since we don't ring the bells, we don't place Lord Vessel just yet, we'll do a skip called Golden Foggate skip, and we're gonna do a Simwalk version of it, which hopefully goes fine. It's very simple, you just have to follow a narrow seam all the way to the arch with the fog gate and just go over it. Nothing special, if you ask me. Fell to the left a little bit. And basically this is just a very precise movement you have to do. Like, I'm using my bow to line up every single movement I do. So there, as you can see, we got on a roof of Duke's Archives corridor passage. And now what we have to do, we have to get back in bounds. And getting back in bounds, unfortunately, in this place isn't as nice as you can imagine it to be. This place is a little annoying sometimes. Yep, thank you. And for that, I'm going to use a very weird mechanic called, like, Store Draw. Okay, please don't kill me. Very weird mechanic. That's actually the reason why I equipped the armor, to survive the hit from a boar. Sometimes you can't dodge it really. So that stored jump allows you to get the right outcome consistently, because getting in bounds from there is very inconvenient. Like, I don't know how it works and why it doesn't work like 100% consistent all the time, but with the store jump it's very convenient. As you could see, I killed like Crystal Golem. That's a golem that contains the DLC key that we're going to use. And there I'm gonna do RTA not friendly strat, just for a showcase basically. I'm gonna quit out on the elevator. That will make elevator go all the way up, and I'm going to do a glitch called Upwarp. Hopefully I don't die doing it. That's a very small IGT time save, but since it's a showcase, have to be shown. It makes you like go all the way up to the elevator position. The only tricky part is to not get stuck out of bounds with it. Oh no, Duke skip failure. My Duke skip had been very nice recently, but not this time. Yeah, and the next thing we do is a Duke skip. It's like one of the oldest Dark Souls skips. This skip allows you to skip the Seath Death inside when you encounter him for the first time there, and going all the prison stuff that you should do in order to get out of prison. Yay, second try, let's go. So now we are at the other side of Duke's Archives. I'm not going to do the Crystal Cave slope without. That's like the probably most risky optimization of this run that you can do overall. And it is landing on a slope at the bottom of Crystal Caves from all the way up from the very beginning. And that is like a very risky thing to do. It's not too difficult with enough practice, but going all the way back to this place from the bonfire will take literal minutes. So I better to not die there, especially considering I already died very stupidly in Sense Fortress. But yeah, it's not quite marathon friendly skip. Again, real time, it does save barely anything, but IGT, it saves a good chunk of time. It saves like around 15 seconds, I guess. Instead, we're going to do a more usual pathing throughout the area, and we're gonna do a pitch drop here to set up Red Tier Stone Ring. As you can see, I keep DCR on the whole time to get the right fall damage, because when DCR equipped, like all the fall damage in Dark Souls 1 is percentage based. Like no matter what is your maximum health amount is in absolute numbers, it always will deal like percentage damage. And when you equip DCR, the damage you receive is calculated from half of your health. So doing that, you can set up Red Tier Stone Ring correctly using like many variables, like many variable falls on your way. So there, it's time for Seath. Seath is pretty easy boss if you don't fail move swap. You have to break his crystal that makes him invincible. Okay, I failed move swap only once, so that's good enough. And then he dies like very, very fast using Black Knight Greatsword +5 and move swap. And now we bone all the way back to the Darkroot Garden. And now we go to enter DLC and fight Sanctuary Guardian. This time I will not need to equip Demon Great Hammer like I did, and I will not need to use like Demonic Foliage to salvage my Red Tier Stone Ring setup as I did for Hydra, but because I have the DCR now, I can just wear it for the drop, unequip it afterwards, and I will be in Red Tier Stone Ring range already. And I think I didn't explain the glitch called like plunging that I used multiple times already across the run, and that I'm going to use just right now again. That's a glitch that allows you to roll mid-air. We also going to use meme rolls just in a bit inside the DLC, which will do the same but differently, because all the fall damage you receive can be iframed efficiently just doing the regular roll. But game does not allow you to roll mid-air that easily. And in order to do that, you can do multiple things. As we use it in plunges, we do attack the tilted ground that makes us like slide off immediately. And because of that, game allows you to cancel the plunge animation with the roll before you start getting the fall animation. And if you do it correctly, it allows you to iframe the fall damage entirely. But I wish my move swap was a little bit more consistent. So their time for Sanctuary Guardian. This boss can be quite annoying. So hopefully he is not. He already kinda is annoying. What's this bot thing? Oh my god. Oof. Good boss. So this boss is usually not an issue. He dies in 2 running attacks, no problem, but he has a long-range attacks such as lightnings, and it can take a while for him to perform a melee attack that you can punish safely. There I played a bit extra safe by not punishing a double combo, but And luckily it turned out to work okay. And there I'm gonna quit out to reset the aggro of the enemies on my way to first time utilizing meme rolls actually. And meme rolls is just a glitch that allows you to roll me there while you have stamina without doing, like, the only necessary like requirement in order to do meme rolls is a very specific weight setup. And in order to achieve it, we keep the Pyromancy armor on and equip certain items to keep it like very precise. So there I equip a pike, I get into the mid roll, and now we are at the bottom.
Oh.
Here we talk with Chester, buy green blossoms, I will buy extra, and I will actually buy a couple black fire bombs just in case, you know. Sometimes you miss black fire bombs somewhere, you know. Hopefully for that not be the case this run. And we enter the Artorias fight. Artorias is also a very easy fight in this run, because specifically with Black Knight Greatsword this fight is incredibly easy, because Black Knight Greatsword stagger is much longer than Dragon Tooth stagger. So you can chain stun this boss to death very easily with Black Knight Greatsword. And now after we killed Artorias, we actually go to kill Calamite. And that's another big new thing about this route, is the way we're gonna kill Calamite. We have to kill dogs on the way so they don't interrupt us having fun with Calamite. And we're gonna do melee Gothless. So that's a strat found by Androv, that you can actually hit Calamite without go with melee weapon, but it's very precise. So you will see just in a bit. Opener differs a little bit from how you do it each next cycle. So hopefully that goes smooth. I do very specific pathing to bait out the Calamite to do the right attack. Here you could hear that I got a single hit, which is not the best you can get on the opener, but good enough. And there we start to do very specific actions. So there I'm using the health bar appearing on the screen. Probably you can't see it much, to know when Calamite goes in the arena to have enough time to perform a running attack. Okay, I almost missed this one with my sloppy camera movements. Oof. That's 2, and we need 1 more in order for him to be killed. Okay, I thought I already messed up, but that was just a very slow cycle. Oof. Made me nervous. And here we go. Calamite is dead. Not bothering Goth to do the job. And now we quit out after he dies. Like, his death animation, like, unlike any other boss you normally kill, you don't have to quit out after receiving the reward. If Calamite is killed with, like, before getting him down with the Go, you can quit out any frame after he dies, actually. Gets in the death animation. And we quit out just to spawn all the way up, to not climb the ladder and stuff. And now, instead of going all the way, like, we already skipped the crest key to be obtained. But now, we're going to get to Chasm of the Abyss very fast as well. By performing mim rolls all the way down through this elevator shaft. Boom. So that's another skip that is utilized there. I use a very specific lineup that Andrew found in order to plunge the ground, because plunging, like, it's very difficult to plunge the ground when there is no tilting areas around. And I do a very delayed roll out of plunge animation, and in order to do that I have like a certain rebinds also that Andrew found. So thanks Andrew for comfy skips all over the place. And now we get into Manos fight. Okay, I got the stored roll, so I have to use Green Blossom after one of the Manos attacks. Okay, so that's a bad fight, but decent enough. Manos can be a very, like, it's a very satisfying boss to fight, but it's very not easy to fight him optimally. And boom, we are done with the DLC without taking a single bonfire in it. Insane magic. And now we have to finish the rest of the game, killing the rest of the bosses, and we will start with the Isolate, starting with Quellac. And here we're going to do another very fancy skip called Blighttown skip. Here I'm going a very particular lineup for my position at the top, and very particular lineup at the bottom. All of that is needed to perform a transition clip between Firelink Shrine and New Londo Ruins that will spawn me there. Then I can perform a quit out on this ground without dying. Backstab all the way to the bot. Oh no. And fall off a seam, which is fine. Getting on a seam there, that's a second seam walk in the run. In this one I'm not gonna use a bow for anything. Hopefully. Yeah. But this one is much easier to navigate through, but because we're doing it fast while sprinting and stuff, it's not easy anyway. Just falling off here and there. It's not a very difficult skip. Like, it takes a lot of time to get used to it, but after you get used to it, it can be like incredibly consistent. And in the end we do the meme rolls. That will land us right in the Quellac's domain, skipping all the Blighttown area. And now we're gonna face the early game boss with the RTSR move swap BKGS +5. Boom. Over. And the next thing is gonna be Fire Sage Elevator Clip. That's a very simple skip to do. The only thing that can go wrong, I can die to a meme brunch. Fall damage. That happens occasionally. I'm not sure what causes it, but hopefully it won't it won't happen. So here I set up the RTSR with fall damage, and what I have to do there, I have to quit out multiple times. That will move me backwards, because each quit out moving you backwards a little, and I will squeeze in between the elevator and elevator shaft, because elevator is initially spawned at the bottom and only then loaded at the top, and it takes long enough for you to actually fall through before elevator is fully loaded. And because it's loaded at the top, it doesn't block your fall all the way to Fire Sage. And I actually do die to a meme brunch. I will blame Mario for that. So, yeah, this is what can happen very rarely to you, performing this, but doesn't happen most of the time, like 90% of the time. And now we have to perform Blighttown Skip again. And I guess that's a good time for some information or donation reading.
I was just gonna ask. Thank you, thank you. All right, we do have one donation from Fear and Whiskey, $20. No buff Ludwig sounds hard. BL4 no buff Ludwig does sound. I mean, that implies both. I guess they use fire paper and bees blood pellets, and bees blood pellets are a good chunk of your damage for yeah, a BL4 one. So it's gonna be intense, and by the way, it's really high, you know. So yeah, obviously it goes to the BL4 no clip. So if you guys didn't hear earlier, we do have a BL4 incentive now for no buff Ludwig. So if you guys want to throw into that, it is a pretty hefty one, but we still got a lot of time. It was around 24 hours, 23 hours when the run is starting. So thank you, Fear, and everyone wants to donate, feel free.
Yeah, hopefully I don't mess up BTS too many times. Trying to recover. Still no quit outless, even second try, feels bad, man. Okay, there I'm actually gonna use the bow. Just to make sure that I'm in the right spot where I'm thinking. Okay, no memes on meme rolls. Good. And maybe this time Mr. Fire Sage will be merciful to us. Or I guess not Fire Sage himself, but his Guardian Protector branch. We'll see. I also lost all of my souls, which is very bad in fact, when I think about it. Because that means I will have not enough souls to level up enough vitality for Nito fight. So I guess we will have to figure that out. Guess we'll just do a bunch of duping. I mean, I can always just use the lower VIT. But the problem with using lower VIT is that I know that 16 VIT is good enough for RTSR. Okay, this is how it's supposed to be working. So for some reason, Fire Sage has a leftover plunge attack possibility, because Stray already doesn't have it. Like, it's probably a leftover from Asylum Demon. So it's incredible coincidence that it works like it does. Like, there are so many factors coinciding for this glitch to work that it's pretty crazy that it works. Here I took the bonfire. I will need it for Homeward Wrong Warp later on to get to Ceaseless, because we still have to get to Ceaseless, and the most convenient way to do that is to perform a Wrong Warp inside from any of the Isolate bonfires, which we do later on. Now it's time for a Centipede Demon. A Centipede Demon with the melee weapon can be quite some issue. Oh no, I missed. And I died because I was in a very bad position. Yeah, I died to the best RNG possible. Like, this is the best RNG you can get for Centipede. And not only I missed the opener hits, I also died trying to avoid it. You don't even need to roll for this attack. I usually roll only because I don't always consistently avoid the cheap damage, and it's a little annoying to get it. You have enough stamina for everything, so rolling doesn't hurt. Luckily we have a bonfire there already, so it's not a big deal for us to die there. To come back to this amazing boss fight experience. Swimming in all of that lava. Missing again. Almost dying to lava. Monka Giga. Okay, again, not the greatest fights. But whatever. So there we receive a ring that allows us to take very little damage from lava, actually. And that allows us to get to Bed of Chaos safely. And as you can see, lava is looking amazing in Prepare to Die edition, so that's nice. We can enjoy more of it after that amazing centipede fight we just had. Yeah, I'll need to figure out something about souls. I guess I can go for 16 vitality, but that doesn't sound very promising to me, to be honest. Actually, no, we'll see. Guess I'll just dupe like enough souls to afford everything, but that will take a huge chunk of time. Because I'll need like, what, 300k souls extra? I'll need souls like from Seath to Quellac, which is... Let me do the maths, like 60... 60, 40, 60, it's like 150, 210, 220, like 280,000 souls. But I will do it just for convenience, so I don't die on Nito an extra time. Yep, and going all the way to Bed of Chaos is not much. Like Dragon Bots, as we call them in the lava lakes, are pretty predictable. Very rarely they can harm you, but it's like very rarely. And next boss coming up is most amazing game design in Soul series. We're going to use a very ancient strat called Toki Bombs. Being ancient doesn't make it less efficient. So what we do, we'll just throw 2 fire bombs to break both cores and just go to the middle bug immediately afterwards. Take it out. Both fire bombs hits. No firestorm. Good. Killing the bug, boning out, good enough. Okay, now it's time for 4 kings. I need the Covenant of Artorias ring for that one. And hopefully we don't mess up Seal skip. Since we're gonna skip talking with Ingvar and receiving the key he gives you to get rid of the water, instead we are going to just get underwater immediately with a glitch called, like, skip called Seal skip. It's quite well, I wouldn't say it's too precise, but without fall control, this skip takes a little more patience, or rather not patience, but accuracy with what you're doing. Almost worked with the running attack, and I was like super cautious and careful with my last step. So there we get underwater. There is no kill boxes before you land, so you abuse wall being a slope and delaying your fall damage by quite a while. And then you just have to get into the out of bounds area that you can get to like freely, even when there is no water in the area. And we fall into the abyss from all the way there. This fight should be no issues. With Green Blossom, amount of stamina I have, and Black Knight Greatsword +5. On 4 Kings we abuse the fact that 4 Kings health bar is actually disconnected from each King health bar. And after you kill an actual King, the kill box of that counts damage toward the main health bar still keeps lingering in the air for a little bit. And you can squeeze an extra running attack in that downtime. Oof, trying to strafe my running attack there. So here we just have to talk with Kath in order to get to Farling Altar. We place Lord Vessel, and we not just sit at it, we use Homeward Wrong Warp. So we have Lord Vessel as our last bonfire now, and we teleport all the way to the Demon Ruins, because my last bonfire was actually a bonfire before Centipede. And a relatively scary boss ahead, because without magic Centipede is not as safe, I guess, as with magic. With Darkbeat this boss is a joke, but without, not as a joke. We have to aggro him using an arrow, because we have nothing else to use, unless we're gonna go for a cheese method of killing, which we won't go for. And probably the only issue I might have, if I die, it's gonna be not fun, but let's just don't think about it, I suppose. Okay. Use Green Blossom in order to get the 1 cycle kill. Move swap your weapon to running attacks. You have to actually like shoot the arrow from a very specific spot in order to make him do the right attack from the right position, because his AI is very like annoying to deal with. Okay, first of all we level up 32 strength, and let's see how much vitality. 14. You know what, let's try to do Nito with 14. I can't take the Nito bonfire though, the Peach bonfire. But 14 vitality can be not as bad. If I will die, then it's gonna be an issue, of course, but if I die I will take my time and level up more vitality for the next attempt, even though it's gonna take like extra 7 minutes or so. But let's hope that's not going to happen. Easy as that. Like Nito fight, if it goes well, you don't need any extra vitality, believe me. You will never need any extra, but 14 is good enough for a good fight. I guess I'll just quit out if I will not like how a fight goes. I also didn't equip the straight sword hilt instead of my talisman to prepare the meme roll setup. That's a very nice world record length rolling non-stop skeleton. Okay, I will heal just in case, because bone wheels before pinwheel without hidden body can be very annoying at times. So any health will be nice to have, any extra health. Nice. Not only I got hit by Skelly like midair, I also got like pushed away by a floating head. That's very cool. Luckily that floating head somehow didn't push me away. That's good. Okay, bone wheel avoided. Now we are safe to go. Unequipping all the armor and killing pinwheel. Pinwheel also is not as convenient as with Darkbeat. because you have to do like 3 attacks in order to kill him. He survived with like very small HP left after just 1 running attack, so that's a shame. And it's time for Tomb of the Giants. Tomb of the Giants is quite a tricky area to go through because you can't see anything, and like if you do the optimal strats, the pathing and stuff can be quite not friendly, especially like for gate skip. Nice, it works. There we do the more fancy parkour. And I'm actually going to heal before Pinwell's area. And hopefully 14 Vitality Nito goes well, because if he doesn't, oh well, that's a big shame. All I can tell you. Unfortunately, I died to Fire Sage Elevator Clip, and if you die to a Infinite Fall Loop, your souls get like wasted. Like your Bloodstain just doesn't spawn anywhere, which is stupid, but you have to deal with it. Okay, Blast RNG for Nito fight, guys. Definitely will need some support on this one. So I'm two-handing Pike, because with two-handed Pike I can actually... Oh, I actually equipped the Pike in the wrong slot, which is a bit of a shame. Oh no. Okay, let's hope he doesn't do another Scream. That's a good attack for an opener. Nice. The main issue with such a low VIT, main issue with such a low VIT Nito is when he does an AoE you have to heal. And if you get hit you are very likely dead. And here is the last homeward wrong warp we do in this run. It's homeward wrong warping from Nito Bonfire. Because we have Lord Vessel set as our last bonfire, homeward wrong warp will bring us to kill. Okay. 14 VIT is enough to survive 1 attack from Gwyn, which is just what we need. Now it's a Franker Z time. I'm gonna do the quit out strat at the Gwyn kill. Like at the end of the fight you can quit out, the way I did on Capra or Calamite, and that will put me like right inside of right outside of the boss arena. But because it's the ending of the game, if you spawn right outside you get the cutscene automatically triggered for the ending, and that skips all the waiting. Well, it doesn't really skip all the waiting because you kill the boss with the repost anyway, but it skips me actually like going into the cutscene, which is like a couple seconds probably. So here you parry the opener, get the first hit, second, quit out after he dies, log in, and time. So that was Dark Souls 1, all bosses. We had 2 very unfortunate deaths, 1 very stupid centipede death with like best RNG you can get, just me misplaying. But overall, that was a showcase of newest optimal route, which is the current fastest all bosses route in the game. Hope you enjoyed it.
Hey Dan, guess what?
Guess what?
119.00 was your time.
119.
One of those really clutch even numbers. Disgusting.
Wait, what is my estimate?
125. So you're still way
Oh,
under.
nice.
Actually, 6 minutes exactly under. So
Poggers.
well done. Yeah. One
Yep.
real quick donation that we got, just anonymous with $1, saying this route is cool. So they appreciated this route.
Thank you.
All right, thank you for the run, Dan.
Yeah, well, I have to say a big thank you for all the people that found good stuff for DS1 to make this route happen. This route had been like the greatest change in all bosses route since ESM, probably, because current all bosses route approximately like 2 minutes faster than the predecessor. So thank you so much all the community members who actually find stuff in games. Appreciate it. And shout out to Mario on Portuguese restream.